Have you ever wondered, if today were the day you died, what would truly be waiting for you on the other side? My name is Daniel Hart, a man who lived by reason, by science, and by the long shifts spent saving lives. But on that day, in a single instant, I became the patient, and I died, truly died. No heartbeat, no breath, only a complete dissolution into a place where human language has never been enough to reach. A dense, black void, a rain of light, and a whisper calling from the farthest edge of the universe. You were never truly gone. You forgot who you are. So, what was the truth I witnessed on the other side? And why will it change how you live every moment you have left? If you believe that death is the end, just wait until you hear what I'm about to share, because it will wipe away everything you ever thought was true. I once thought I understood life. I believed that only what you could touch, measure, and prove was real. 20 years as an emergency medical worker pulling people back from the edge of death had forged in me a heart of stone. There was no time for romantic questions about the soul or the afterlife. Death, in my eyes, was simply a machine that had stopped running. Life was nothing more than a repetitive cycle: shifts, emergencies, gasping breaths, clinging to survival. Every morning, I woke up to a cold cup of coffee and a spirit just as cold. Every night, I came home, peeled off my uniform stained with blood and dust, and told myself, tomorrow will be different. But tomorrow always looked the same. A never-ending cycle with no way out. I loved my job. I was proud of it. But somewhere along the way, I forgot who I was beneath that white coat. I didn't realize. With every patient I saved, I was losing another piece of my soul. Then one day, on a late afternoon in May, when everything seemed like just another ordinary day, a small mistake happened. One moment, one spark, one short circuit, not just in my body, but in the entire world I thought I knew. Do you believe that in a single moment, everything you ever believed about life and death could be turned upside down? Stay with me, because that's exactly what's about to happen. It was a sweltering afternoon. Sunlight crawled through the workshop windows, casting broken, patchy streaks of light across the cracked concrete floor.
Tama, my best friend, and I were experimenting with a high-voltage wood-burning device. A dangerous hobby, but an utterly fascinating one. I used to think I had everything under control. But when you're dealing with 12,000 volts, a single blink of an eye is enough to wipe your name off this world forever. I remember placing the 2 electrodes onto a piece of wood. I remember Thomas laughing and saying something, and then lightning struck. No warning, no sign, no chance to regret. A flash of white light, sharp as a blade, tore through the air. A deafening crack, like the sound of a world being ripped apart. And then, everything collapsed. The first sensation? Not pain, not panic, but dissolution. I felt every cell in my body being shredded apart, like millions of grains of sand swept away by an invisible storm. My eyes could see nothing but towering columns of brilliant blue light rising and vanishing into endless space. I was no longer Daniel. I was no longer human. I was just a point, a thread of awareness drifting amid a raging whirlwind. I no longer knew if I was falling or rising. No sense of direction, no sense of time, no sense of me. There was a moment when I thought, I'm dying. Then another moment, no, I'm dissolving. And finally, only one raw, undeniable truth remained. I never truly existed. No light, no color, no sound. Only a thick, living blackness like liquid ink swallowing every thought, every memory, every hope. I had no idea how long I stayed there. A second? An hour? A lifetime? When time no longer exists, there's no such thing as waiting anymore. Just when I thought I had dissolved forever, a wisp of light, thin as mist, appeared at the edge of the darkness. It didn't shine like the sun. It beckoned. A wave rippled out, not with sound, but with feeling. Remember, you have never truly been alone. I saw myself, or rather my awareness, begin to drift toward that light. No feet, no hands, just a gentle pull like a leaf carried by the wind. But what I didn't know was that waiting ahead wasn't just the light. It was an entire universe where every truth about life, death, and you would be laid bare. I drifted, no resistance, no fear, and then I entered the light. But it wasn't like any light you've ever seen at any sunrise. It didn't come from the sun. It was alive. This light had a heartbeat, a breath. It saw me. It loved me. It understood me better than I understood myself. I carried no name, no age, no identity. Only a stream of pure awareness, like a drop of water returning to the ocean. A whisper echoed through the light. You have never been separated from the source. I saw, or more accurately, I became everything. The winds sweep through ancient forests. The rays of sunlight pierce tiny rooftops. The laughter of a child playing in the park. The tear of a mother grieving her lost child. I understood. I felt it all, as if it were my own body. We are not separated. We simply forgot that we were always one. And then, before my eyes, woven like vast rainbow tapestries, were millions, billions of strands of light, intertwined into one enormous web. Each strand is a soul. Each movement, no matter how small, sent a ripple through the entire network. Every action you take, no matter how small, leaves an echo in eternity. A wave of emotion surged through me. So many times in my life I had thought, I don't matter. Now I see, every moment is sacred. Every presence is magnificent. But then I also saw the moments when I had hurt others, sometimes by nothing more than my indifference. There was no judgment, no condemnation, only a boundless understanding. Everything you have ever given returns to you. And the greatest lesson, striking straight into my heart: forgiveness is not weakness. Forgiveness is the bravest act of a soul remembering who it truly is. And I saw it clearly. Forgiving others is setting yourself free. Forgiving yourself is opening the door back home. Every mistake, every wound, every resentment, all of it, they are merely clouds passing across the eternal sky of love. In that moment, I wanted to stay forever. In that gentle dome of light, there was no more fear, no more burden. But then, once again, I heard the whisper, "Your mission is not yet complete." The gentle light embraced me one last time. I felt a small flame being placed within me, invisible to the eye, but burning brilliantly inside. The flame of awakening. The flame that reminded me this life is not about running from death, but about remembering the greatness within us. And then I began to fall. I fell through layers of light, through woven tapestries of color, through invisible songs, falling backward to the place I had once left. But when I opened my eyes, a greater question than I had ever known struck me. How do you live with the memory of someone who has already died? Stay with me, because the answer will forever change the way you see life. I jolted upright. The machines jolted upright. My consciousness was still hovering, not yet fully anchored to the flesh, struggling to gasp for air.
The machines screamed around me. Cold lights swept across Thomas's face. He was sobbing like a child. My eyes burned, not from pain, but because I understood. I had returned, but I would never again be the person I once was. The days that followed, it was a journey stranger than death itself, learning how to live after you've already died. I couldn't explain to the doctors why I remembered every single face in that emergency room, or every word they whispered when they thought I was already gone. I couldn't tell my colleagues that among the thousands of cries for help each day, I could hear the whispers of souls. I became a different person. I no longer raced against time. I no longer lose my temper over small mistakes. I was grateful for every breath, every handshake, every awkward smile life offered me. Every glance, every hug, every word now feels like a miracle to me. The lesson I brought back from the other side wasn't the secret to the body's immortality. It was the awakening to the immortality of love, of consciousness, of the invisible connection we all carry within us. You are not the name printed on your birth certificate. You are not the scars you bear or the mistakes you've made. You are light. You are the song of the universe. You are the infinite, wrapped in a fragile form, nothing more, nothing less. Because it truly is. If you're hearing these words, please don't wait until death comes knocking to finally wake up. You are alive. Hold on to that miracle. Live as if you never forgot who you are. I returned to my work, but I was no longer the same me. No longer just a paramedic in the purest sense. No longer just racing against death. No longer just patching up broken bodies. I began to see through people, beneath their skin and flesh, to the soul inside, crying out for help. Each patient, to me now, was no longer just an emergency case needing numbers and machines. Each patient, it was a story nearing its final chapter. It was a light hoping to be held onto just a little longer. It was a song that deserved to be sung one more time. I began to spend more time not just saving lives, but reaching their hearts. A hand to hold for the lonely elderly in their final moments. A warm, steady gaze for those who felt the whole world had abandoned them. I began hosting small talks at the hospital where I shared my near-death experience, not to scare anyone, not to convince anyone to believe, but simply to plant a seed. That you are more deeply loved than you realize, that this life is far more precious than you ever knew, that even when you fall, you can always rise again, with the light still burning in your heart. I started a small group, the Journey of Light, a place where those who had experienced near death or deep loss could gather, share, and heal. Mothers who had lost their children, terminal cancer patients, those battling depression who had once stood at the edge. Together, we learned how to live, not just survive. And then, on certain days when I looked into someone's eyes that once held only despair, and now saw them shining again, I knew. Every small act, every tiny spark of light can ripple across an entire universe. I died to learn how to love unconditionally. I came back to remind others that they too are light, and so are you. You don't have to die to begin. You only have to remember. You have always been light. You have always been the miracle unfolding.
If today you are breathing, if you are hearing these words, start now. A kind word, a tight embrace, a trusting gaze. One small seed of light you plant today could save an entire soul tomorrow. If this story has touched some part of your heart, if you've ever lost someone, or ever found yourself questioning the true meaning of this life, leave a comment, share your story with me, or even just a passing feeling. I read every word you write, because in this world, every small light deserves to be heard. And if you believe, as I do, that each of us is on a journey to remember who we truly are, come walk this path with me, follow the channel, so that every video to come will be another small flame to light your heart, reminding you, you have never been alone. You have never been insignificant. You have always been light.